And the feds say an Albuquerque firefighter was selling massive amounts of coke and collecting massive amounts of money. That firefighter was finally fired today, 2 weeks after his arrest.
Tonight, News 13 has obtained the latest court records that show how the feds say the ring worked and how much money Chavez may have been hauling in. News 13's Nancy Laughlin is live near the Albuquerque Country Club with the latest.
Jess, this is a house Steve Chavez and his wife recently bought. It's right across the street from the Albuquerque Country Club, and this place is really cool. You can see here they're remodeling it. This is where the garage used to be. There's some fancy stucco here, some really elaborate tiles, and a cool front door. Quite a fancy house for someone who makes around 50 grand a year. It was once a modest little home in a posh Albuquerque neighborhood. A home firefighter Steve Chavez and his wife bought recently for 169 grand and were converting into this, their much bigger dream home. But tonight, Chavez is behind bars and officially out of a job.
His employment with the Albuquerque Fire Department was terminated at 3 p.m. this afternoon, and Mr. Chavez is no longer an Albuquerque firefighter. And AFD Chief Jim Breen is wondering how Chavez was hired as a firefighter in 2004 in the first place. The chief says a background check showed Chavez had 7 traffic citations, failed to appear in court 4 times, another charge of shoplifting, then using a fake ID, and this confession during the recruiting process. He admitted to selling marijuana for easy money.
An ominous admission. According to a federal search warrant just unsealed this evening, Steve Chavez went on to make stacks of easy money until he was busted as a player in a multi-million-dollar drug ring with ties to the Sinaloa cartel. The feds say Chavez traveled frequently to Florida to make huge coke deals. The search warrant zeroes in on one trip where Chavez was lining up a deal to sell 20 kilos of coke. This is what 20 kilos looks like. The feds say his supplier back in Albuquerque, Homa Varela, the ringleader in contact with the cartel, sold a kilo for about 23 grand. Chavez said he had the money in Albuquerque to buy 20 of them. That's more than $400,000. The feds say Chavez's buyer in Florida paid more than $30,000 per kilo. That means Chavez may have raked in more than $200,000 in profit himself from one shipment. And during another deal, Chavez traded a 3,000-pound mountain of pot like this for cocaine. When the feds took down the ring last month, they pulled an Uzi, an AK-47, and other guns from Chavez's in-laws' home where he was staying, and from his car. The search warrant says the ring was running guns to the cartel, but it doesn't say if Chavez was involved in that. Okay, the feds are going after $15 million. They say the 15 suspects in this case got with drugs and drugs money, but they're not going after this house because this home is in Chavez's wife's name. Now, she maintains that she knew nothing about his drug dealing. She knew he went to Florida, but she says he went there, she thought, to play poker. Back to you all.
Okay, Nancy, Chavez will remain behind bars until his trial, which has not been scheduled yet.